The Big Ten been the standard in college football in recent years, sporting the last 3 national champions with a good chance to make it 4 in 2026. The Ohio State Buckeyes, Oregon Ducks and Indiana Hoosiers all come into the season expecting to be crowned both Big Ten champions and national champions come January. But, of course, only one can hold those honors. Throughout the conference, there's programs who have been knocking on the door of national relevancy, which in this day and age of college football means an appearance in the college football playoff. The Washington Huskies, Iowa Hawkeyes, and USC Trojans fit into that category, all of which will be aiming for playoff football this season. And don't forget about the Penn State Nittany Lions, who are essentially the 8-win Iowa State Cyclones after taking their head coach and many players. Beyond those squads, there's optimism that every program can improve upon their 2025 win total. After all, every team is unbeaten at this time of the year. Every team looks great practicing against themselves in spring ball and fall camp. But less than 2 months remain before we find out who's for real and who's not. We tried our hand at answering that exact question, complete with full win-loss records, most notable games, and analysis on every team in the Big Ten heading into the 2026 season. Projected record: 1-11, 0-9 Big Ten. Record in 2025: 2-10, 0-9 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins: Indiana State. Projected losses: Wake Forest, UCLA, Notre Dame, Illinois, Minnesota, Washington, Penn State, Maryland, Iowa, Wisconsin, Indiana. After 2 consecutive winless seasons in Big Ten play, it's hard to see where the Boilermakers get a conference win in 2026, either. It's head coach Barry Odom's second year at the helm, and while the roster improved incrementally, Purdue remains in the basement of the Big Ten. Projected record: 2-10, 0-9 Big Ten. Record in 2025: 5-7, 2-7 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins: UMass, Howard. Projected losses: Boston College, USC, Indiana, Maryland, Northwestern, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Penn State, Michigan State. Likely having a porous defense once again combined with the loss of experienced quarterback Ethan Kaliakmanis, the Scarlet Knights just don't project to be very good offensively. Running back Antoine Raymond will have to carry a heavy load in his second season as the starter, but a winless season in conference play could be on the table. Projected record: 3-9, 1-8 Big Ten. Record in 2025: 7-6, 4-5 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins: South Dakota State, Ball State, Rutgers. Projected losses: Colorado, Indiana, Penn State, Michigan State, Oregon, Iowa, Ohio State, Minnesota, Illinois. Northwestern's schedule is as tough as it gets, as they draw each of Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, Penn State, and Iowa. They overachieved in 2025, but that won't happen this fall. The Wildcats will continue their up-and-down win total trend in recent seasons, with 2026 being a down year. Projected record: 5-7, 2-7 Big Ten. Record in 2025: 7-6, 4-5 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins: Ohio, Bowling Green, North Dakota, Maryland, Rutgers. Projected losses: Michigan State, Indiana, Oregon, Washington, Illinois, Ohio State, Iowa. Out went Dylan Raiola and in comes UNLV transfer quarterback Anthony Calandria, who will battle talented youngster TJ Lateef for the starting nod. Regardless of who gets the starting nod, head coach Matt Rhule's squad lost a lot of talent from last year and didn't reload like they would have hoped, leading to a regression from last year. Projected record: 5-7, 3-6 Big Ten. Record in 2025: 4-8, 1-8 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins: Hampton, UConn, Rutgers, Illinois, Purdue. Projected losses: Virginia Tech, UCLA, Nebraska, Ohio State, Wisconsin, USC, Penn State. The Terrapins' biggest win over the offseason was retaining ultra-talented freshman quarterback Malik Washington, who impressed in year 1 as the starter. Although he's back, and Maryland has a chance to be frisky because of his talent, there's not much to be proud of around him. Maryland sniffs bowl eligibility, but just misses out. Projected record, 6-6, 4-5 Big Ten. Record in 2025, 4-8, 1-8 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins, Toledo, Eastern Michigan, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Rutgers. Projected losses, Notre Dame, Illinois, UCLA, Michigan, Washington, Oregon. The Spartans had been both a mess and a disappointment during Jonathan Smith's 2-year tenure as the head coach. In comes Pat Fitzgerald, who should provide some stability that Smith couldn't. While that doesn't mean competing with the Big Ten's best, it does mean slowly bringing Michigan State back to relevancy. A .500 record in Fitzgerald's first season would be a win. Projected record, 6-6, 3-6 Big Ten. Record in 2025, 8-5, 5-4 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins, Eastern Illinois, Mississippi State, Akron, Purdue, UCLA, Northwestern. Projected losses, Washington, Michigan, Iowa, Indiana, Penn State, Wisconsin. The Golden Gophers' relatively easy schedule in 2025 that led them to 8 wins isn't the case in 2026, as they'll have to take on Indiana, Penn State, Washington, Michigan, and Iowa. Despite bringing back quarterback Drake Lindsey and star running back Darius Taylor, the roster around them just isn't good enough to win those games. Projected record, 6-6, 5-4 Big Ten. Record in 2025, 4-8, 2-7 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins, Western Illinois, Eastern Michigan, USC, Rutgers, Maryland, Purdue, Minnesota. Projected losses, Notre Dame, Penn State, Michigan State, UCLA, Iowa. Head coach Luke Fickell is still around, clearly with support from the athletic department after a disappointing start to his tenure. He pulled off a major move in the portal, landing Old Dominion quarterback Colton Joseph after an illustrious career with the Monarchs. Joseph's talent alone should win the Badgers a couple more games than a season ago, elevating them to bowl eligibility. Projected record, 7-5, 5-4 Big Ten. Record in 2025, 3-9, 3-6 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins, San Diego State, Purdue, Maryland, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Nevada, Illinois. Projected losses, Cal, Oregon, Minnesota, Michigan, USC. Can't get much worse than it did last season for the Bruins. With the old James Madison coaching staff coming in, and with Nico Iamaleava at quarterback surrounded by a solid roster talent-wise, UCLA should be much more respectable this fall. They won't be world beaters by any means, but 7 wins would be a solid season for them. Projected record, 7-5, 4-5 Big Ten. Record in 2025, 9-4, 5-4 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins, UAB, Duke, SIU, Purdue, Michigan State, Nebraska, Northwestern. Projected losses, Ohio State, Oregon, Maryland, UCLA, Iowa. Though the roster is depleted from last season, it's hard to see head coach Bret Bielema allowing the Fighting Illini to drop below, or even to, .500. 7 wins seems like the right amount, with a big game coming against Duke in the non-conference portion of the schedule serving as an important litmus test. Projected record, 7-5, 5-4 Big Ten. Record in 2025, 9-4, 7-2 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins, Western Michigan, UTEP, Iowa, Minnesota, Rutgers, Michigan State, UCLA. Projected losses, Oklahoma, Penn State, Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State. The Wolverines drew an absolute gauntlet of a schedule. They'll play against Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, and Penn State. Oh, and they have a non-conference Week 2 meeting with Oklahoma. Quarterback Bryce Underwood, while talented, is still very raw and doesn't quite have what it takes to pull off the upset in any of those games. Projected record, 8-4, 5-4 Big Ten. Record in 2025, 9-4, 7-2 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins, San Jose State, Fresno State, Louisiana, Rutgers, Washington, Penn State, Maryland, UCLA. Projected losses: Oregon, Wisconsin, Ohio State, Indiana. With Jayden Maiava back at the quarterback spot, the Trojans have a high ceiling. But after a strong defensive performance as a whole in 2025, I'm expecting a regression on that side of the ball. USC should be in games against Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon, but just like their first two seasons in the Big Ten, they won't be able to close the deal. Projected record: 9-3, 6-3 Big Ten. Record in 2025: 9-4, 6-3 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins: Northern Illinois, Iowa State, Northern Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Purdue, Illinois, Nebraska. Projected losses: Michigan, Ohio State, Washington. Death, taxes, and Iowa finishing with 9 wins every year. There's a tough 3-week gauntlet in the middle of the season in which the Hawkeyes are on the road against Michigan and Washington, sandwiched between a home date with Ohio State, which are their only projected losses. There's no reason to believe the offense will suddenly come to life this year, limiting their ceiling. Projected record: 9-3, 6-3 Big Ten. Record in 2025: 9-4, 5-4 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins: Washington State, Utah State, Eastern Washington, Minnesota, Iowa, Purdue, Nebraska, Penn State, Michigan State. Projected losses: USC, Indiana, Oregon. The Huskies are knocking on the door of Big Ten contender status, but once again are shut out with losses to Indiana and Oregon. The quarterback duel between Demond Williams Jr., who will have to earn the respect of his teammates after his transfer portal fiasco, and Jayden Maiava for USC should be one to watch, but ultimately Washington doesn't get over the hump in 2026. Projected record: 10-2, 6-2 Big Ten. Record in 2025: 7-6, 3-6 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins: Marshall, Temple, Buffalo, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Michigan, Purdue, Minnesota, Rutgers, Maryland. Projected losses: USC, Washington. In Matt Campbell's first year at the helm after an extremely underrated stint at Iowa State, the Nittany Lions enjoy a very favorable schedule, missing Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana. While they'll finish with 10 wins, a nice bounce back from last season, think of them more as an 8 or 9 win caliber team. Projected record: 11-1, 8-1 Big Ten. Record in 2025: 16-0, 9-0 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins: North Texas, Howard, Western Kentucky, Northwestern, Rutgers, Nebraska, Michigan, Minnesota, USC, Washington, Purdue. Projected losses: Ohio State. The Hoosiers lost a lot of talent across the roster, but they didn't lose the most important piece: head coach Curt Cignetti. He reloaded via the transfer portal, landing TCU quarterback Josh Hoover and Michigan State wide receiver Nick Marsh, who will combine with Charlie Becker for one of the top receiving duos in the nation. With Cignetti at the helm, expect Indiana to push for a Big Ten title game berth. Projected record: 11-1, 8-1 Big Ten. Record in 2025: 13-3, 8-1 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins: Boise State, Oklahoma State, Portland State, USC, UCLA, Nebraska, Illinois, Northwestern, Michigan, Michigan State, Washington. Projected losses: Ohio State. Trips to Columbus have resulted in wins for the Ducks in recent years, but the Buckeyes prevail in this 2026 matchup. No matter, as Oregon will go undefeated the rest of their schedule and achieve a third straight berth in the CFP. With Dante Moore leading the way and one of the best defenses in the country from a roster perspective, the Ducks have as high of a ceiling as any team in the country. Projected record: 12-0, 9-0 Big Ten. Record in 2025: 12-2, 9-0 Big Ten. Most notable games. Projected wins: Ball State, Texas, Kent State, Illinois, Iowa, Maryland, Indiana, USC, Oregon, Northwestern, Nebraska, Michigan. Projected losses: It's simply hard to imagine the Buckeyes losing a game in the regular season considering it will be wide receiver Jeremiah Smith's third year and second working with talented quarterback Julian Sayin. The defense always seems to reload with elite prospects, and that should happen once again. Don't be surprised if Ohio State is the #1 seed in the CFP come December. This article originally appeared on Ducks Wire. Big Ten Football 2026 win-loss record predictions for each team.